and welcome to the Questionnaires podcast, where each week we source the best questions from Yahoo Answers and attempt to provide the best advice from.
If you work as a security guard in a Samsung store, does that make you a guardian of the galaxy?
2.
How do bugs manage to get through the most stupidest of gaps to get inside the house, but then go full idiot trying to get out?
We're here to prove that every question deserves an answer. Joining me this week, as always, is Marcus.
Hello, Tom.
And hello to Damien.
No hello to me, but how you going, guys?
Oh, very well. Very well.
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good. You know, still all in our bedrooms, or well, I'm in my study, Dame's in his study. You're in your bedroom, Tom. You look very cozy there.
I've actually set, have you noticed the little mood light I've got set behind me? I'm trying to work with my mirrored image here. A little mood light I've set.
Yeah, Tom set up a mood. He's set a mood light because he wants to seduce both of us into going into his room, like breaking virtually breaking isolation to come do some loving with Tom.
You.
Yeah,
it's working. Guilty as charged. Are you still in your bed, Tom, because you've been able to unable to get out of it all day, or are you just taking it easy?
It does sound that way. Like it's 4:50 in the afternoon on a Saturday, and I'm sitting in my bed. If I was in my pajamas, it would actually look more like that. Hey,
do you know what was funny this morning? I was like really struggling to get out of bed, and my girlfriend tried a few times to no avail, and then she went downstairs to do her thing, and then all of a sudden I hear, I put a hole in the wall, and that got me out of bed straight away. I've never moved quicker. I flew down the stairs.
Yeah, like the hole has already happened though, Damien. What's the rush?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say that's the only thing that gets me off not the only thing that gets me off the couch, but I'm like sitting on the couch, like watching TV, then I hear like a glass break or something like that. I'm like, wait, what's happened? And I run into the kitchen, and it's like, oh no, I was just putting it onto the dish rack or something like that. I'm like, oh, here I am worried about like plates and cups and holes in walls.
My girlfriend now knows if she needs to get me up to do anything, just punch a hole in the wall, and I'm there. That's my bat signal. Just punch a hole in the wall.
Just picks up a glass, drops it on the floor, and then just looks at the doorway waiting for you to arrive.
Yes.
He'll be here any second.
Come here, boy.
Was it actually a hole in the wall?
There was, yeah. She tried to carry a chair that was a bit heavier than she thought, and it made a hole.
See,
it's
Damien,
fine. I fixed it. I patched it up.
You patched it up, man. You're better than what I could ever do. I would have
don't sound too surprised.
Well,
Marcus.
I'm just saying more because of if I saw a hole in the wall, I'm like, well, now this wall has a hole in it. That's it. That's just what it is.
But you know what?
It's a feature wall now.
Yeah. Let's point everything at this hole to make it seem like it was meant to be there. But this is isolation tasks. This is what you do. You can do some home renovations.
And in your defense, Marcus, I grilled you about sounding surprised, but just recently my mum rang me and said, can you come over to fix something? And I actually said to her, Mum, I think you've got the wrong number. You meant to call Daniel, who's my older brother, who's good at fixing things. And she was like, no, I meant to call you. You're good at this stuff now. And I was like, I guess you're kind of right.
Oh, wow.
Felt
You've
good.
become the handyman.
See, this is why I don't learn things like that, because then I get those phone calls. I don't want those phone calls. I want my other brothers to take care of it. But
don't bother me.
I get the phone calls where, hey, the internet's not working. Can you come fix it? So I get those ones.
Do you know what's amazing? Marcus has no interest in helping his family with problems, but he's happy to help random strangers on the internet with their problems from Yahoo Answers.
Exactly.
That's one of the cruxes of doing this podcast is you're usually all advised out by the end of the week, and you just can't help anyone with anything.
Exactly.
That's right. It's really taxing. It's absolutely taxing.
That is what we're here to do. That's how the show works. We find some questions from the website Yahoo Answers and try to provide some advice to the people to help them on their way. The other thing we do each week is we choose a theme to name the question askers from the website. And is Damien's theme this week?
That's correct. On tonight's menu, you'll be having me. And my
delicious.
Thank you. Compliments the chef. My theme is, if you had to be quarantined for a month with a fictional character, who would it be?
A fictional character.
Fictional character.
Yeah, I got one. I got one in mind.
Oh, yeah?
Do you want to kick things off, Marcus?
Yeah, I do. But I just want to say, before we go into the themes, I love how every week Tom asks, he always says whose theme it is, but always with a question in mind. Like, is it my theme this week or is it Damien's theme?
Yeah.
It's like, well, we always talk about this before we get on air.
But you know what? Because I feel like there was a couple of weeks where it skipped me for about 6 weeks, and I just have no trust in the system. I have no trust in the system.
We just
that was me and Marcus's secret ploy to overthrow you. We're slowly just phasing you out of the podcast.
Yeah, make me feel crazy.
Yeah, Yeah, that's it.
He's
All
losing
right.
his mind.
So who would a fictional character I would like to spend in isolation with? I'm going to go with Genie from Aladdin.
Oh,
Okay, and and why?
Wait,
and
which
why?
Aladdin? The remake with Will Smith?
No, I don't want Will Smith. I want the animated one, man. I want Robin Williams.
Animated
RIP.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I feel like Will Smith Genie is like when a kid asks for something at the supermarket and the mum's like, but we have the Genie from Aladdin at home. And it's the Will Smith
The
Genie.
Genie from Aladdin at home is Will Smith Genie.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
have you guys seen the Aladdin movie, the new one?
I have
Apparently
seen
it's
it.
good. I haven't seen it.
Is it good?
I will go put my hand up and say good time, and I will say Will Smith, good time.
All right,
All
I
right,
got
there you
Disney
go.
Plus. I'm going to watch it.
I'm assuming you're going with the Genie because he can grant you wishes.
Correct.
I will say,
but he
though-
also seems like a good time.
He kind of seems exhausting though as well.
Yeah,
That's true.
Although he would be good at isolation because he lives in a lamp. So
Yeah.
that's his life 24/7.
That's it.
what do you do with
That's
it?
it.
All right. So
when you're living in your
what does Genie have to say for themselves?
I give
Marcus?
him a little bit of a rub, and then Genie comes out and he asks me this question.
Yes.
My husband keeps forgetting to flush the toilet. What can I do? So
Gross.
he leaves for work, I say around 5:30 usually. Lately, because my job is a night job, but because of the coronavirus, I'm not working at the moment. When I wake up in the morning and go to the bathroom, I notice my husband forgets to flush the toilet. I don't want to wake up every morning and see a toilet full of piss or whatever else he's got going on in there. And when we were just dating, he never did this at his parents' house. I tried confronting him multiple times, but he doesn't listen. Now I am just fed up. What can I do to make him flush the damn toilet? Genie.
I think before we get into this question, we have to promise our listeners we are not going to get too gross and disgusting
Yeah,
with
I know.
how we speak about this. So I think we should chuck a disclaimer and be like, let's be adults about this and not get too dirty about it.
We don't need to get dirty about it. I didn't
dirtiest
say
I
what
will
else he was doing in the
allow-
toilet. Yeah.
The dirtiest I will allow is 2. If you say 2 instead of anything else, that's as dirty as it gets. It gets dirtier than the number 2. No words. I'll
Really?
cut it you
All
off.
right.
The number
Let's
2.
keep it
All right.
PG.
What a challenge. All right. What a challenge this may be.
Okay.
Do you think this would help as some if she can't stop him if he keeps not flushing, right?
Yep.
Because I don't think you'd want to turn your home toilet into like a workplace toilet where they put signs up like make sure you flush after you do this, right? You don't want to have a bunch of signs up around your house.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
not.
Do
I
you
don't want
think
that.
do you think they should invest in like, do you know that spray that's called VIP? A VIP?
Yes.
Sorry, have you
Yes,
seen that
yes,
spray?
yeah.
Damien, I said
But the
no
idea
words,
is-
nothing dirtier than 2. So
Sorry.
it's VI2.
VI2. My apologies. The idea is like you can kind of spray the water, and regardless of what enters the water, it does not escape. Do you know what I mean? It's like a force field.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's how. I mean, that's how. Look, in the commercial, the graphic that they sold it with, that's what it looked like—a force field.
Yeah.
Damien,
Marcus.
did
It's
you
like
buy
seals.
this? Were you wanting to buy it?
Look, the woman in the ad who was selling it, she put up a strong argument. She
sold-
any other on a weekday, I might have made the impulse purchase, but no, I don't want the product.
Yeah.
I will say I've seen this ad, and it's also always like strikes me as very interesting when it's got this like woman that's advertising it. I feel like it's sort of, I don't know, it's sort of a strange salesperson to be selling that.
Well, usually they're saying like she's an actress or whatever it is, and like I think in the actual thing, she's like, you don't want to piss off the director. I'm like, I'm not an actor, I'm not an actress or anything like that. I don't care about no director, but I'm assuming it's like you're meant to bring into your own life anyway.
Okay.
Well, if you had to direct your partner on how to use a toilet, what directions would you give them? What do you think the approach is here?
I got a few things. Okay, now I do flush the toilet every single time. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't flush the toilet. But do you ever
What a
think
hero.
it's possible? Yeah, please pat me on the back, please. Do you ever think it's like possible though? Like maybe he doesn't want to flush it at 5:30 in the morning because she's a light sleeper, and the flush in the toilet doesn't want to wake her up. You know, like he doesn't flush the toilet because he's like, well, if I flush the toilet, then she's awake at 5:30 in the morning. She doesn't need to be up at 5:30 in the morning.
But what would you rather be woken by the toilet flushing or waking up 3 or so hours later for like whatever is left behind?
I mean, I know what I would prefer, and that's the wake up at 5:30. But
He's
don't
leaving
know.
the house and he's like, not my problem. I don't see what the reaction is. I don't see what happened. So it doesn't really matter. It's like anything that doesn't exist in front of his eyes doesn't exist. It's not a problem. It's like a
with
child.
that notion you just brought up, Marcus.
Yeah.
do you think that is? Would you agree with him if that was the reason?
I think.
So I have a follow-up question after that.
I think. Look, I still think you should flush the toilet, and at 5:30 you should
course.
still do it. But I also feel like you try it. Like I'm recently moved in with my partner, and we're working out like considerate things to do for one another. Now, flushing a toilet is not just like you have to 100% do that. You have to do that with everybody in the house. You don't want to leave any number twos sitting around. All right. I don't know. You think of considerate things like that. Like that's my mind is thinking like that.
Okay.
Do you remember years ago when we had the really bad drought and there was a bunch of water restrictions, right?
Yep.
And there was kind of like there was a lot of like ads on TV saying make sure you only use a single flush, blah blah blah, all that type of stuff, right? And how to conserve water. I was granted I was young at the time, but one of my ideas was just not flush the toilet whenever I peed. So I'm like, oh, I'm helping. I'm not wasting water. It's only pee. And I think it lasted for like an hour because my dad saw it and it's like, this is disgusting. Flush the goddamn toilet. I thought I was helping, but he was like, no, this is you're an idiot. I've raised a fool.
There are some people that I know. I think I knew some friends that lived with people that were a little bit more conscious of the environment, and they wouldn't flush for number ones. They'd be like, no need to flush, no need to waste the water. Half flush is too much of a flush. You wait until you've got something more substantial to flush.
I think that is only acceptable in a household where everybody is really well hydrated. You know what I mean? Because then you're not going to smell it or see it. You're just going to think it's water. But if they're like rocking, you know what I mean? If it looks like their urine has jaundice, then you don't want that in the household.
Everybody's like, Aquaman there. Everyone's just peeing all the time.
It's the scene in Pulp Fiction where they open up the briefcase and it's got that gold glow, but it's coming from the toilet bowl instead. If there's a hue coming from your toilet bowl, flush it.
Flush it.
I agree with that.
So, Marcus, it's sounding like you've had a couple of rules to deal with since moving out with your girlfriend. And I like to think that
rules,
she's like, first things first, let's write this down so Marcus has to abide by it. But has there been anything that's...
No, nothing like that.
There's been discussions that's been had, let's just say. I'm assuming.
Not too many discussions or anything like that. No. But it's been more of a case of like, so I go into bed later than what she goes to bed. So I'm obviously trying to realize, okay, how do I get inside bed without waking? She's a very light sleeper. So we've worked out a way that we open the door at a certain angle so I can push in without it squeaking and her waking up. So that's one way.
So it's like you measure with a tape measure, make the door open 15 centimeters, and it's like, he can get through that. If you make a squeak, that is your fault because I gave you ample space.
Well, not just that. Like we worked out like roughly comfortably what it would be. Another thing that we're looking into, I'm looking into is my keyboard's a mechanical keyboard. And right now I'm at a mechanical keyboard. So if I type right now, you probably can hear it on air. That's what it sounds like. I don't know if I actually...
Clacky noise.
Clacky sound. So if she's in bed and I'm on the computer, I have to like either A, type really lightly, or B, just buy a brand new keyboard. So there's a few things that I'm looking into. But like little things like that, not the flushing the toilet stuff yet. Not yet.
I have the same problems as you, Marcus, with my girlfriend. So I'm just considering like legitimately going to like a ninja school just to like learn the way of the ninja so I can sneak around the house without disrupting her sleeping because anything wakes her up.
Yeah. Sometimes I fart
I guess we should probably get... Yeah, man, it's hard. I guess we should get back to the toilet situation.
Yeah.
Tom, what would your solution be here? I feel like you are the most mature out of the three of us, so I want to hear your opinion.
So this is coming from the wife's position or the girlfriend's position, saying how do I tell him?
Yeah.
I think, look, if you want to do the subtle approach, I think what I would do is maybe watch the movie Meet the Parents, because Meet the Parents has a scene in it, or like a recurring scene that comes up about the cat knowing how to go to the toilet and flush the toilet.
Yeah.
So the cat is toilet trained, and I would sort of use pop culture to drop little hints to be like, oh wow, look, Mr. Jinx can do it. Why can't
you?
Why can't you do it, Genie from Aladdin?
From Aladdin.
I've got one wish, you asshole. Flush the goddamn toilet.
Is that too much to ask for?
I like that.
I like Tom's approach. You just keep watching toilet films.
Yeah.
Like, here's another one. If you need to convince him again, there is a scene in Psycho where the Alfred Hitchcock film where it's flushed, and that was apparently the first time a toilet on film had ever been seen being flushed. So you
Yep.
can bring up that trivia and be like,
Yeah.
you know, that was the first toilet ever flushed on cinema.
But he's just like, wait, what's that toilet doing? What's the water doing? It's spinning. He just doesn't understand what is even happening because he
That
never
doesn't
flushes
get
the
it.
toilet.
Concept.
How do you know
Marcus?
that, Damien? I mean, like, did you know too much about toilet history? Don't you,
That's,
Damien?
Toilet
that's
trivia?
that's a big part of cinema history, though, Marcus. Even I knew that. You
I was
obviously
just gonna
didn't do
say-
media studies.
Nah, I didn't. I was gonna say, like, that's a good suggestion, and I think that's probably the way to go. But another